And if you have strap and blocks available, those may come in handy. Let's find a comfortable seat with a blanket or pillow beneath us. And we'll begin, whoop, I gotta unhook my sleeves, rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. And bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. And when you're ready, you can float your hands down. Extend the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Sitting bones sinking down toward the earth. We'll lift the heart with each inhaling breath. Rooting through those sitting bones, grounding yourself into the earth, feeling that connection and support. And we'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibrations. Take another deep breath in. Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning and set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Allow each inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm. Expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding and opening, contracting and relaxing. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. As we continue this full deep breath, gently begin to shorten the pause between the inhale and the exhale. Moving into the circular or continuous breath, turning the inhale into the exhale, and the exhale into the inhale. Creating one continuous motion of breath. If you'd like, you can envision a water wheel in front of you, drawing it toward you with the inhale, gently pushing it away with the exhale. Take one more full continuous breath. When you reach the end of your exhale, gently return to your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice any changes you feel in your mind or body. remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Bringing your awareness to your right hand, allow the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together and bring those fingertips to your heart center, turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart, looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner light, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes. If you would like to switch your legs or change positions, please go ahead and do that. And with your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by our ears. Exhale, press the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Once more, lift and squeeze. And back and down. We'll bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down, tucking the shoulder blades back and down, strengthening the muscles around the scapula, lifting the heart, rooting through the sitting bones. Then we'll press the elbows back toward each other, gently arching the upper back, lifting the heart, squeezing the center of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any tension. Then opening the arms wide, turning the palms up. Again, lifting the heart a little more if that feels okay. Drawing the lower corners of the shoulder blades down toward each other. Breathing into the heart. And if it feels okay, pressing through the palms as you flex the wrists. And we'll bring the arms in front, crossing the right over the left. Bending at the elbows, hands back to back or left hand around the right wrist. Lift the elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe into the upper back. Soften the jaw. Draw the the chin gently toward the throat. And then we'll gently lower and lift the elbows. Extending that stretch around the shoulders. And with the next inhaling breath, if it feels okay, lifting the elbows up a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, round. Dropping the chin, letting the weight of the arms open the back. And with your next inhale, come back to center. We'll unwrap the arms, open wide, pressing through the palms, lifting the heart, drawing those lower corners of the shoulder blades down toward each other. And then we'll bring the arms in front, this time crossing the left over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist, or hands at the shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe into the upper back. Soften the jaw. Chin draws back toward the throat, lengthening the back of the neck. And as it feels okay, you can begin to lower and lift the elbows, extending that stretch through the shoulders. And with your next inhale, if it feels okay, lift the elbows up a little higher. And as you exhale, round, dropping the chin. With the next inhale, we'll come back to the center. Let's unwrap the arms, extending them out to the sides, tucking the shoulder blades down. And as you come to your next inhaling breath, we'll turn the palms up. Keeping the shoulder blades tucked as you exhale, rotate the palms forward. Follow your breath, working on that inner rotation of the shoulder joint. And let's bring our hands to the shoulders. And we'll make some big circles with the elbows. And the next time you're in the center, you can reverse the circles. And we'll release the shoulders and make some circles with the wrists. And reverse those. And then we'll bring the hands together, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms out in front. Roll the shoulders forward, round the spine, drop the chin. With your next inhaling breath, lift the palms up over the head, gently arching. And as you exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, leave the palms up and gently drop the chin. Softening the elbows, roll the shoulder blades back toward each other. Wringing out any tension across the shoulders and into the neck. Soften the jaw. Release the back of the neck a little more if that feels okay. And again, listening to your shoulders and elbows. If it feels okay, press the palms up toward the sky. With your next inhale, lift the chin. As you exhale, rotate toward the right and float the hands down. Left hand to the knee, right hand behind the right hip. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, gently twist through the ribs. Soft shoulders, lifting and twisting. Gently bringing the chin over the right shoulder as much as feels okay. And with your next inhale, if it feels okay for your neck, you can turn the chin over the left shoulder. And coming back to the right. With your next inhaling breath, sweep the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Dropping the right hip toward the mat, lifting the heart. Fingertips reaching across the ceiling. Chin gently lifted away from the chest. I'll add a little movement today if it feels okay for you. You can bend the elbow, tucking that shoulder blade down, and then reach out again. So we'll keep the body tilted as we move the arm. Bending that elbow, tucking the shoulder, and reaching. One more time if that feels okay. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, come back to the center, and let's take a breath in and out. Just noticing what's the same or different left to right as well. When you're ready, we'll interlace the fingers. Inhale the palms up over the head. And exhale, twisting toward the left. Floating the hands down, right hand to the knee, left hand behind the hip. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, gently twisting. Head comes around last. Hold and breathe. Tucking the shoulders down, lifting the heart. If it feels okay, you can bring your chin over the right shoulder. And back to the left. With your next inhale, sweep the left arm up by the ear, lengthening through the side of the body. And as you exhale, reach across the body, dropping that left hip toward the mat, lifting the heart, chin away from the chest, fingertips reaching across the ceiling. Hold and breathe. And if you'd like to play around with the arm again, as you inhale, you can bend that elbow, tucking the shoulder blade down, and exhale, reach. Inhale, bend. Exhale, reach. And once more, if that feels okay. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. Taking that breath in and out. Let's extend our leg out in front of us, coming down toward, bringing the feet down toward the end of the mat. And let's go ahead and take the hold of our strap, and we'll wrap that around the arches of the feet. Can wrap the strap around the hands if that feels good. Feel about softening the knees, lengthening the spine, and tucking the shoulders back and down. Gently begin to flex the feet, pressing the heels away, and pull gently on the strap. And lifting those feet a little off the floor if it feels okay, making sure we're not hyperextending the back of the knees by keeping those quadriceps engaged. Well, tilting the pelvis forward gently will hinge at those hips, and as it feels okay, using the strap, pull the torso forward, keeping that spine nice and long. You may notice your chin wants to jet out, so gently pull the chin toward the throat and lengthen through the back of the neck. Draw the belly muscles toward the back. If it feels okay, you can come a little further out over the legs. And with your next inhale, let's lift up tall. We'll release the strap. And this time just gently fold forward without all the effort. So that was a little more like engaged and pulling. And now we're just going to float down, softening through the low back and the back of the legs. Hands can rest on the legs, floor, or feet. Just finding some ease in the posture. And with the next inhale, lift up tall and shoulders back and down. Can either keep the legs extended, working with inclined plane, or bend the knees, placing the feet hip width apart to come into reverse table. Hands behind the hips with the fingertips facing toward the hips. Let's roll the shoulders back toward each other. With your next inhaling breath, let's lift the hips. Exhale, gently lower and hover if that feels okay. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and hover. Inhale, lift. And hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Bending those elbows slightly, pressing the hips high. Head extends out from the spine or drawing the chin toward the chest, just not dropping the head onto the shoulders. One more breath. And we'll gently lower down, shaking out those wrists. Coming to the center of the mat, let's round the spine, drop the chin, rolling back, using those belly muscles. And lengthening the spine out, shoulders tuck under, softening and extending the legs. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Gently scanning up your body, noticing any parts that feel tired, achy, or sore. Honoring yourself and your body by listening to its messages. Pushing yourself to your edge, but not beyond it. And remembering that each time you do yoga, your body is a little bit different. Let's bend the right leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Lengthen through the neck, shoulders are tucked under, soften around the right hip. Keeping the left hand on the knee, right arm falls out to the side, either palm facing down or bending at the elbow. And as you exhale, gently twist over the left side of the body. Right hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Vision toward the right arm as much as feels okay for your neck. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. Extending the leg up toward the sky, take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. And begin to make slow, gentle circles, stretching the foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel. Let's gently drop the sitting bones toward the mat by arching the low back. And then tucking the pelvis, drawing the belly down toward the back, bringing the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. If you prefer to use the strap here, please feel free. You can stay here or with your next exhaling breath, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. You can flex the left foot if you like, gently lifting it off of the mat. And if it feels okay, you could also release the arms for a little extra challenge. Keep those belly muscles drawn down. Neck is nice and long. Gently lowering the left leg with your next inhale, lowering the head and chest. And as you exhale, slowly lower the right leg down. Once you reach the floor, take a deep breath in and out. Notice if your shoulders are pulled up and gently let them fall back to the mat. And with your next inhaling breath, bend the left leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest, lengthening through the neck, softening around the hip. Keeping the right hand on the knee, allow the left arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down or bending at the elbow. As you exhale, gently twist over the right side of the body. Left hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Vision toward your left arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Releasing the muscles around the hip, easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center, extending the leg up toward the sky. Take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, toes point toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Then begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel, dropping the sitting bone down, gently arching the low back. And tucking the pelvis, drawing the belly muscles toward the back as you draw the leg toward the torso, just as far as feels okay. Reaching through the heel, belly muscles draw down. Stay here, or with your next exhaling breath, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Belly muscles are strong, reaching through the heel. Neck is nice and long. Stay here, or if it feels okay, lift the right leg off the floor a couple of inches. And again, if you'd like a little more challenge, release the hands. Listening to your body and what feels right today. Gently lowering the right leg. As you inhale, lowering the head and chest. And as you exhale, slowly lowering the left leg. Once you reach the floor, take a deep breath in and out, softening the body, releasing it to the earth. Let's go ahead and, I should have said this earlier, grab a block and we'll bend our knees and place the block between the knees. So we'll work with bridge pose with the block in the knees just to help support the engagement through the inner groin muscles as well as the alignment of our legs. So tucking the shoulders under, we'll start with the arms alongside the body. Lifting the toes, spread them wide, rooting the feet into the mat. Shoulders are back and down into the mat. With your next inhaling breath, we'll scoop the pelvis, rolling the spine up one vertebrae at a time. And as you exhale, slowly roll down. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, rolling down. This time with your inhale, and as we lift, we'll also lift the right arm and lay it down over the head onto the floor. So take a breath in and out. And with your next inhale, scoop and lift and bring that right arm up and over the head. And as you exhale, rolling the spine down and floating the right arm down. Inhale, left arm comes along with the bridge rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, lower. This time, inhale both arms. Exhale, lower. Inhale both arms. And exhale, lower. Let's take the block into our hands. And we'll inhale, lifting the hips. And then bring the block underneath your lumbar spine. No, actually, sorry, I said that wrong. Under your sacrum, not under your lumbar spine. So that your sacrum is resting on the block. It can be at whatever height feels comfortable for you. We'll roll the shoulders under, arms alongside the body. Release the back of the neck. Soften through the glutes and the low back. Just rest in a supported bridge for a couple of moments. Allow the belly to be soft. as you breathe deeply into it. See where you can let go just a tiny bit more. And with your next inhaling breath, gently press into the feet, lifting the hips. Remove the block and roll the spine down. We'll just make some little gentle rocking with the spine, tucking and releasing. And when you're ready, we'll bring the knees over the torso into Apanasana. Breathing into the low belly. When you're ready, you can either roll to your side, pressing up with your hands, or slip the hands behind the knees, kick the feet over the head, and gently rock up. And then we'll come forward onto our hands and knees. And if you would like to have a blanket underneath your knees, please go ahead and add that. So we're going to do a little bit of a flow that I learned this week from one of my teachers, Anna Pilar. And see what you all think. All right, so starting in our our table pose. We'll begin a gentle cat-cow. So soft elbows, head extends out, tucking the shoulders back and down. With your next inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, rounding. Coming back to table pose with your inhale. We'll let that breath go. And with your next inhale, we're going to lift up onto the knees, bringing the arms up over the head, reaching. And as you exhale, fold forward into child's pose. Inhale, come back onto tabletop. Exhale, sweep that right arm out and back. Oh, you know what? I just realized, hang on a second. Let me start over. I'm like, wait, the arm was not in the right space. I forgot where it needed to go. All right, we'll restart. So let's inhale. We're going to lift the right arm up and bring the left arm to the low back. That's what I forgot. Exhale, fold forward into child's pose with just the right arm out. Inhale, shifting into tabletop, one arm. Exhale, sweep the left arm out and forward. Inhale, bringing that arm back. Exhale, back into child's pose. Inhale, lift up tall. Right arm up toward the sky. Exhale, fold forward, child's pose. Inhale, shifting into tabletop. Exhale, left arm sweeps out to the front. Inhale, left arm comes to the low back. Exhale, hips back to child's pose. Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, forward into child's pose. Inhale, lifting into table. This time we're going to add the leg. So as we exhale, sweeping the left arm out to the front, we're going to reach the right leg back. Exhale, knee down, left hand to the low back, come back to child's pose. Inhale, lifting up tall. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, left arm forward, right leg back. Exhale, knee down, hands to the back, and hips to the heels. Inhale, lift up tall. Let's exhale, floating that right arm down. And we'll bring that right arm, losing my left and right, right arm behind the low back, left arm hanging down. Then we'll work with this side. Inhale, lifting the left arm up. Exhale, fold forward into child's pose. Inhale, shifting up into tabletop with the one arm. Exhale, right arm sweeps out. Inhale. Sorry, I lost my breath. I lost my breath pattern. Sorry. So hand on the low back, exhaling, dropping into child's pose. Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, folding into child's pose. Inhale, coming to table. Exhale, sweep that right arm out and forward. Inhale, hand to the low back. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, lift up tall. This time we'll add the leg. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, table. Exhale, extend the right arm and left leg. Exhale, knee down. Now inhale, knee down, hand to the low back. And exhale, child's pose. Inhale, lift up tall. Once more, exhale, holding forward into child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, knee down, hand to the low back. And hips to the heel. Oh, I'm so mixing up my breath. I'm so sorry. Inhale, arm up tall. And we'll put the hands down. I should just say keep breathing and just leave the arm motions. All right, so if you want to just make some big circles with your arms, kind of work, the shoulders did a lot of work there, and the other direction. So it's just a nice little flow to play with. It also helps just kind of integrating both the upper and lower body energy. So we'll bring the hands back to the mat, walking the fingers a little further away from under our shoulders. Tuck the toes under and press the hips up and back, downward dog. Softening the knees, pressing back through the hips. Shoulders roll back toward each other. Head drops between the arms with the chin slightly away from the chest. And then allowing the heels to float down just as much as feels okay. Take one more breath here. And then let's walk our hands back toward our feet and move the blanket if you have down. If you'd like a block under your hands for forward fold, you can also use that. Softening the knees, lifting the spine halfway, pressing into the feet. Think about opening through the sitting bones. Hands can be on the floor, block, or knees. And with your next exhale, let's gently fold forward. Releasing the back of the neck, softening the knees. We'll drop the hips a little bit more, and with your next inhale, sweeping the arms over the head. Coming into chair pose. You can bring the hands to the heart, and the elbows out at cactus, or arms over the head, whatever feels right for your shoulders. The elbows are out at cactus. It really helps us strengthen those muscles again down around the scapula, keeping them tucked in, hugging them down the back. We're going to add a twist. So we'll bring the hands to the heart, twisting toward the right. Left elbow comes toward the right knee. So on the outside of the knee, you can also use the arm, but you're having the wrist on the outside of the knee instead. So doing what feels right for you. Gently twisting toward the right, lengthening through the spine. Opening the arms wide if that feels good for you. And let's come back to center. Hands at the heart, pressing actively into the feet. And then we'll twist to the left. Again, bringing the right elbow on the outside of the knee, or bringing that wrist on the outside of the knee, whatever feels right for you. Gently twisting through the ribs, lengthening through the spine. Opening the arms if that feels okay. And with your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, rolling the spine up. Thank you. Sorry, there was a little blip with the internet, but I think we're back. I looked, I'm like, Sarah is frozen, and I think it's my my internet. Okay. So hopefully she comes back. All right. Well, we'll work with balance pose. So feet hip width apart. There we go. Spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes, spread them wide as you lower them down. I'm not sure how much and you all missed with the glitch in the internet, so I apologize about that. We'll shift the weight to the left leg. Finding a focus spot for our gaze, we'll come up to the big toe of the right foot. Belly muscles are strong. We're going to work with standing knee to chest. So if you want to work with lifting the toes for balance here, if it feels okay, you could lift the knee, interlacing the fingers in front of the knee. You can also have the wall at your back. My apologies, forgot to say that earlier. You can stay here or bring the knee in toward the chest. Shoulders back and down, belly is strong. Left knee stays slightly bent. You could stay here or work on extending the leg. by bringing the hands underneath the foot or underneath the thigh and extending the leg out. And then if you would like to add a twist, you could bring the left hand on the outside of the right knee, on the outside of the right foot. Either way, then reaching that right hand back and gently turning your vision toward the right hand. That's always the trickiest part. And coming back to the center, lowering that leg down, shaking it out. And coming back to balance on both feet. Spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes, spread them wide as you lower them down. Shifting your weight to your right leg, focus spot for your gaze. Coming up to the big toe of your left foot and keeping the right knee bent, slightly bent. Can work with balance by lifting the toes. You could lift the knee, interlacing the fingers in front of the knee. Stay here, or if it feels okay, lifting the knee into the chest. Shoulders are tucked back and down, belly strong. Right knee is slightly bent. Can stay here or work on extension by bringing the hand underneath the thigh or underneath the foot and extending that leg out. And then if you'd like to add the twist, you can bring the right hand on the outside of the knee or outside of the foot. Reaching back with the left arm and then slowly turning your vision back toward the left hand. And when you're ready, coming back to the center, lowering down, shaking out that leg. All right, let's come to the front of our mat. Check our time. And let's step back with the left leg, keeping our hips facing toward the front of the mat. We'll work a little with Warrior One and Arrow Warrior. Rooting through that left heel, having that left foot at a 45-degree angle. Bringing the hands to the hips, lifting the heart, shoulders back and down. Deep breath in, rooting through the feet, lengthening through the spine. And as you exhale, let's bend the right knee. Pressing the right hip back, left hip forward gently. Reach through the back heel. Rooting through the front heel. Both legs strong and active. Can then bring the hands to the heart, cactus pose, or arms over the head, whatever feels right for your upper body today. Notice if your chin is jutting out, gently draw it toward the throat, rooting through the feet. One more breath. And with your next inhale, we'll gently straighten the leg, floating the hands down, interlace behind the back, or take hold at the elbows. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, hinging at the hips. We'll bring the spine out over the leg. Hold and breathe, lengthening through the spine, softening through the back of the leg. If you'd like, you could drop the hands down to the mat. You could also use your blocks, bringing the hands onto the blocks on either side of your leg. Pressing back with the right hip, engaging the quadriceps in the left leg by drawing that kneecap up. One more breath here. Let's bend that front leg, rooting into the foot. We'll move into Arrow Warrior. You can keep those blocks at the hands if you'd like, or hands on the floor. Inhale, lifting that left leg behind us, lengthening the spine. Engage that left leg by flexing the foot, pressing through the heel. And if it feels okay, you could release the hands, bringing them by the hips. Envisioning yourself flying through the air. We'll float the hands down. Let's drop the head toward the leg, lifting the leg up toward the sky, half splits or leg extended behind you. And then we'll drop that left leg toward the mat, forward fold, using the blocks to support as much as is needed. And then we'll inhale, rolling the spine up, shoulders back and down. Take a breath in and out. And then we'll step back with the right leg. So hips are facing toward the front end of the mat. Rooting into that left foot, rooting through the back, through the right heel. Right foot is at a 45-degree angle. And we want to make sure that that our legs are hip width apart as well. Lengthening through the spine as you root through the feet. With your next exhaling breath, bending that left leg, making sure the knee doesn't go past the toes. Left hip presses back, right hip presses forward gently. Strong, active legs. And when you're ready, you can bring the hands to the heart, elbows out to cactus, or arms up over the head, whatever feels right in this moment. Lifting the heart, rooting through the feet. One more breath. And with your next inhale, gently straighten the legs. Exhale, floating the hands down, either interlacing the hands behind the back or taking hold at the elbows. Lengthening through the spine. As you exhale, hinging at the hips, reaching the torso out over the legs, standing head to knee. Rooting into the feet, keeping those quads engaged in the right leg, releasing through the hamstrings and the low back on the left side. You can keep the hands behind the back or drop the hands down toward the floor, toward the mat, or onto blocks. Reaching back through that left hip, keeping those quads in the right leg active. So one more breath. Then we're going to bend the left leg. And with your next inhale, reach that right leg out behind you, launching into Arrow Warrior. Hands can stay on the floor or block. Flexing the right foot, reaching through that leg. Stay here, or if it feels okay, releasing the floor or block and bringing the hands alongside the hips. Envisioning yourself flying through the air. We'll float the hands down onto the floor or block. Keep that leg behind us, dropping the torso toward the floor. Leg kicks back into half splits or extended out behind us. And then dropping that right leg down toward the mat. Soften the knees, fold over. And with your next Actually, let's bring our hands down onto the mat. We'll step back with the left leg and just walk our hands to the center. So we're turning into a wide leg forward bend. Softening the knees, pressing into the feet, lifting up through the sitting bones. Release the back of the neck. Let's walk the feet closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. If you'd like to use your block in the center behind the heels, you can go ahead and grab that at whatever height feels right for you. We'll bend the knees, dropping the hips, hands to the heart, and high Malasana as an option. Pressing into the feet, engaging those inner groin muscles. If it feels okay for your knees, dropping the hips down to the block or by the heels. Pressing into the knees, opening, or coming all the way to the mat. Walking the feet a little further apart and pressing into the knees or thighs there. From whatever position you're in, long spine, shoulders are tucked down the back. And then when you're ready, lowering the rest of the way down. Meeting in cross-legged. Spine extends up tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong. Sitting bones dropping down toward the earth. With your next inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder. Right shoulder tucks back and down as you breathe into the left side of the neck. If it feels okay, you can bring the left arm across the low back, dropping that left shoulder, lengthening a little more. And if it feels okay, you could reach the right arm out to the side, bend the elbow, and place the hand gently on the left side of the head. Lifting the heart, softening through the neck. With your next inhale, lift the hand and come back to center, bringing the left arm back as well. Exhale, drop the left ear over the left shoulder, tuck the shoulder back and down, breathing into the right side of the neck. Notice if there's anywhere you're holding on throughout the body and gently release. If it feels okay, you could bring the right arm across the low back, dropping that right shoulder down, lengthening through the neck. And if it feels okay, you could extend the left arm out to the side, bending at the elbow, bringing the left hand to the right side of the head. And with your next inhale, release the hand and bring the right arm back to the leg as you come back to the center. With your next exhale, drop your chin toward your chest. Shoulders are back and down. Releasing through the back of the neck, feeling that stretch go down the center of the upper back as well. As you come to your next inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, turning the chin over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale the chin over the left shoulder. Inhale, center. And let the breath go. Let's bend our knees, coming to the center of the mat. If you like a block for Viparita Karani, you can bring that, or Viparita Karina. Yeah, gosh, I'm just mixing everything up today. You can have your block nearby. We'll just use English, legs up the wall. Rounding the spine, dropping the chin, and gently roll back. Shoulders tuck under. Bending the knees, lifting the feet up toward the sky. You could rock your hands underneath the hips, or bringing the feet back down, lifting the hips and bringing the block underneath the sacrum and extending the legs up. Shoulders are back and down, arms alongside the body if they're not underneath your hips. Ankles and knees are soft as you breathe into the belly. Bend the knees, rocking the hands or block out from underneath the hips. Bringing the knees into the chest, Apanasana. You can gently rock from side to side, or bring the knees in and out, making small circles with the low back. And reverse the circles. And if you'd like one last twist, you can bring the arms out at shoulder height, palms facing down, bending the knees, or means knees together, gently drop them to the right. Vision to the left. Releasing through the spine. Coming back to the center. Dropping the knees to the left, vision to the right. Softening through the spine. And gently coming back to the center. Lower the feet down, either walking the feet out to the side, resting the knees together, or extending the legs out into Shavasana. Can add a bolster or blanket under your knees for support, and as it is getting cooler in the season, if you want to cover your feet with some socks or your body with a blanket, please do that as well. So allow the shoulders to tuck back and down. Arms slightly away from, arms about, sorry, arms slightly away from your body with your palms turned up. Feet about hip width apart if they are not bent. Relax your forehead, soften your eyes, loosen your jaw. If you would like to receive Reiki during our Shavasana, just open yourself to receiving it in this moment. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Allow each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allow each exhale to release anything that is no longer needed. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself. Sending that loving kindness to each and every cell of your body, honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, gently bend your knees, roll to your side, and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our communities, and for ourselves. Thank you all for joining me today, and sorry for the little glitches both in my brain and the internet.